I paid a fortune teller to lie to my now wife and tell her that we were perfectly compatible according to our horoscopes. I'm white, married to an Asian woman, and both she and her whole family are very superstitious. They told her directly, before the wedding, "You must go to an astrologer and check your compatibility according to the Chinese zodiac." I'm a very rational person and I don't like relying on luck. We had already been together for a year and things were serious. I was completely in love with her. Then I found out that astrological compatibility was almost a deal breaker for her. When I realized that, I panicked. I couldn't just leave it to fate. So I told her, "Okay, let's go to a fortune teller in Chinatown." Yeah, I know they have fancier names for it, but I honestly don't give a damn about that profession. The day before the visit, I secretly went there by myself, found an old lady with good reviews, and paid her $400 to tell my future wife that our stars and all that stuff were a perfect match. The next day we went together, and she played her part perfectly. She even printed out a nice-looking report explaining in detail why we were supposedly made for each other. Now I'm happily married. Our first child is on the way, and I don't regret what I did at all. The son of my deceased friend messaged me, and I ignored him that I'm 34 years old. 14 years ago, I lost my best friend. We were both 20 back then, and he had just found out his girlfriend was pregnant. I don't want to go into detail about how he died. It was too traumatic for me. I'll just say this. He died in my arms. We've been friends since we were 7 years old. He was the kindest person I've ever known. I loved him like a brother, and losing him in those circumstances completely broke me. I spiraled fast and almost didn't make it out. Only after moving to another state did I slowly start to feel human again. As I said, his girlfriend was pregnant. I wanted to support her and be there for her, but I was in such a bad place mentally that I couldn't help anyone. Unfortunately, after the baby was born, she fell apart too. She had no real support. When the boy was about 2 years old, she took her own life. I won't lie, when I found out, I hit rock bottom again and seriously considered doing the same. As for the child, when I finally became a little more stable, I at least tried to check in and find out how he was doing. My friend's parents, his grandparents, were disabled and couldn't raise the boy physically or financially. The mother's family refused to take responsibility. Eventually, he ended up in the foster care system. That's all I knew about him until recently. Yes, I thought about him often over the years, but I completely closed that chapter of my life. I never went back to that town. I don't have a relationship with my parents, and I have no close ties there anymore, so I had no real reason to return. Then, a few weeks ago, I got a message from my friend's son. He's 14 now. He found me through LinkedIn. I was in shock. His message was long, but I'll summarize the main point. After his grandmother died, he was given a box that his grandparents had kept. Inside were photos of me and his father, from childhood, our teenage years, and the last pictures before his death. There was also a letter my friend had written to his unborn son when he found out his girlfriend was pregnant. He wrote how happy he was to become a father, how he wanted to be the kind of dad he never had, and how he knew his best friend would always be there. The boy said he wants to meet me to learn what his father was really like, to hear stories about our childhood and teenage years. From what he wrote, he's had a very hard life, bounced through many foster homes, some of them clearly bad. He desperately wants to connect with someone who knew his parents. He left his phone number, address, and all his contact details, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but I still haven't replied. Right now, I have a stable life, a wife and 2 daughters. It took me years to get out of that darkness. I looked through his social media, and this kid looks exactly like my friend. Same facial features, same blue eyes, same blonde hair, everything. And I'm terrified that if I respond, if we meet, I'll be pulled right back into the mental state I was in after he died, that I have no one to talk to about this. My wife doesn't know about my friend, what happened, or that he had a son. I've kept it all inside for years. Part of me wants to drive to that town tomorrow and see this kid. Maybe even try to take him in, if he wants that. Another part of me wants to never respond, pretend none of this exists, and never reopen the past. I use my company credit card to feed homeless people. For every meal I buy for myself, I share food with one homeless person. I hold a senior position in the sales department at a top 50 tech company. My company literally makes billions. Because of my job, I often have to travel to expensive cities all over the world. London, Paris, San Francisco, New York, Sydney, and others. On these trips, I'm given a daily food allowance of over $300 because the prices are insane. This is only for business trips, of course. So, for example, if I order 4 tacos for lunch, I'll buy 6. If I buy 1 bottle of water, I'll get 2. Sometimes I'll add a couple of bags of chips to go. I doubt anyone would think I suddenly started eating way too much as long as I stay within the allowed budget. Obviously, I can't do this every single day, but I do it fairly often. Technically, it's not very honest according to the rules, and I could get fired for it. But the world already has enough problems that I've been doing this for 2 years and I don't plan to stop. Every time, it makes both me and the person who gets a hot, filling meal a little happier.
I get paid to pretend I'm pregnant. One time I had a one-night thing with a guy I picked up at a bar. Totally normal story, nothing weird at first. But in the morning he suddenly asked me, "Would you ever agree to wear a fake pregnant belly?" I thought he was joking, but he got embarrassed and admitted he has a pregnancy fetish. Not so much in a sexual way, but more about the fantasy of taking care of an expectant mother. I don't know what came over me. The night was already strange, but I said, "Why not? Let's try it." Turns out, he already had a silicone belly at home. Either a massive red flag or just something ridiculous, depends how you look at it. He asked me to put it on and just sit with him. I did, and he started acting like I was actually carrying his child. He carried my bags for me, told me to sit down and rest. Every 5 minutes he asked if I wanted some water. Before I left, he said he knew a bunch of other guys with the same fetish. A closed little group, nothing official, just guys who are into it, and asked if he could recommend me to them. Now I regularly put on that silicone belly and meet these guys. We go get coffee, go for walks, or just sit and talk. There's never any sex, but it's 100% a fetish thing. They want the full illusion of a pregnant girl. Sometimes someone will ask me to lift a too heavy bag just so they can rush in and save me. Someone might deliberately drop something on the floor so I have to bend down, and then they jump in to help. One guy even asked me to wipe a small spot on the kitchen floor, just to watch me struggle to get down on my knees with a huge belly. It's obviously bizarre and absurd, but the money's really good. And overall it's pretty harmless, just awkward, semi-intimate role-playing with overly caring guys. My friends think I just do some random side gigs. No one knows I travel to other cities with a silicone belly under my sweater, pretending to be 7 months pregnant.
I kept a promise I made to my mom 20 years ago. Why mom never helped me pay for college or any of my expenses. From my last year of high school, I worked 2 jobs just to afford college. And on top of that, she started asking me for money to help cover her rent. I made a mistake. Out of a sense of duty, I kept helping her, even though my brothers and sisters didn't. Some of them didn't study, some of them didn't work. I understood perfectly that I was basically supporting all of them. In my 3rd year of college, I needed to have my wisdom teeth removed. The pain was unbearable, but my mom refused to let me use her work health insurance. I even called her HR department trying to get a replacement card, and they told me she had removed me from her insurance plan. It turned out I'd been walking around for 6 months with no health or dental insurance at all. Instead of $400, I ended up paying $3,500. I took out a care credit loan and paid it off in installments. The worst part? I couldn't afford general anesthesia. They only gave me local anesthesia, and it barely worked. She didn't even tell me she had taken me off the insurance. That's when I told her straight, "When you get old, I'm not going to help you." 20 years have passed, and my mom has declined a lot. Now she genuinely needs help with everything. My brothers and sisters are busy with their own families, and I'm the only one left. I don't have kids. I do have passive income, and I work remotely. They asked me to at least buy her groceries, drive her to doctor's appointments, and take her out for walks. But I said no. I told them. My mom knows exactly why I won't help her. She never apologized, and she never even offered to pay me back for the dental bills. No matter what anyone says, what she did, removing me from her insurance and abandoning me at my lowest point, was 100 times worse than me refusing to help her now. And honestly, now I can finally forgive her. I kept my promise. The weight is off my soul.